Okay, December 2, 2014 notes. We're going to be wrapping and unwrapping equations today. Okay, say we have a gift. We're going to give it to someone, and so we buy this shirt. The first thing we do is we fold it up. Then we put it in a box that has tissue paper inside it. Okay, then after that we close the box. And then we wrap it up with a bow. Okay, so that's wrapping a present. So we start with a shirt, we fold it, we put it in a box with tissue, we close the box, and then we wrap the box. So when we unwrap it, we're going to do everything exactly backwards. We're going to take off the bow, we're going to open the box, we're going to take the shirt out, and then we're going to unfold it. So we're back to where we started. Okay, example 1, this is our gift, x equals 2. So we're going to wrap it up so that you can't see it anymore. So we're going to do a couple of different things. I'll say we're going to add 5. So if I add 5 to both sides, I have x plus 5. And on the right side, I have 7. So I added 5 here, and I added 5 here. So now it looks like x plus 5 equals 7. Okay, we're going to do another step. Let's say we'll multiply. So I'm going to multiply by a number. Let's say multiply by 3. Okay, I'm going to do this to both sides. So I'll have 3 x plus 5. And then when I multiply 7 times 3, it's 21. So I multiplied the whole thing by 3. Then I multiplied the 7 by the 3. Okay, say we want to do one more thing. Let's say we'll subtract 1. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. So now I have 3 parentheses x plus 5. It says subtract 1. And then I'm going to subtract 1 from 21, and I get 20. So now I've totally wrapped up the x equals 2, so you can't see what it is. So now we're going to unwrap. And when we unwrap, we're going to do everything exactly the opposite. Okay, so here's the problem, and now we're going to unwrap it by doing everything exactly backwards. So the last step was subtract 1, so now we're going to do the opposite. We're going to add 1. So now I have 3x plus 5. I undid the minus 1, and then I add 1 to the 20. Now we have 21. They multiplied by 3, so I'm going to unwrap it. So I'm going to divide by 3, and that undoes having the 3 in front of there. So now it's just x plus 5. And 21 divided by 3 is 7. And the last step they did was add 5. So now I'm going to do the opposite. So I'm going to unwrap it. I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. I get x equals 2. So we're back to where we started. Okay, example 2. We're going to wrap and unwrap x equals 3. So let's say multiply by 5. So I'm going to multiply by 5. And if I do that, I get 5 times x equals 15. So I multiplied this by 5, I multiplied this by 5. I now have 5x equals 15. Okay, then I'm going to subtract something. Let's say subtract 7. Alright. So now I'm going to have 5x subtract 7, and 15 subtract 7 is 8. And then I'll say multiply by 9. Okay, so now I have 9, 5x minus 7 equals 8 times 9 is 72. Okay, so now we're going to unwrap that. Okay, now we're going to unwrap the 9 parentheses 5x minus 7 equals 72. We're going to do everything backwards. So we're going to divide by 9 first, by both sides. So now I have 5x minus 7 equals 8. And then I'm going to add 7 now, because that will unwrap the minus 7. And now I have 15. Now I'm going to divide by 5. That will unwrap the multiply by 5. And I have x equals 3, which is where we started.